This is the Shipping Podcast. Welcome to the first episode of the Shipping Podcast and an interview with Captain Niels Vestergaard Pedersen, the captain of one of the world's largest container vessel, the MAERSK MC-KINNEY MOLLER. I had the pleasure of visiting the ship when she called the Port of Gothenburg in January 2015 by the courtesy of Maersk Line Scandinavia. The captain greeted me and showed me around the ship, and I was so pleased that I finally got a chance to see this giant, which I've heard so much about and read so much about. The MAERSK MC-KINNEY MOLLER is the lead ship of Maersk Triple class of container vessels. She's 400 meters long and 60 meters wide. She carries more than 18,000 standard 20-feet shipping containers and trades from the Far East to Europe. When she was delivered in July 2013, as I said, she was one of the world's largest, and Captain Jes Meinertz and Captain Pedersen were the ones who were in charge of the ship when she was on her maiden voyage from Singapore, which was the first port of call, to Port of Gothenburg, where she called 27th of August 2013. The ship was built in Korea at a cost of approximately $190 million. I hope you will enjoy the talk I had with Captain Pedersen. The interview took place on the bridge, and I can tell you everything looks small from that bridge. I had posted a few photos which I took from the bridge, but the cover photo of the podcast shows Captain Niels Vestergaard Pedersen show me the Lego model of the same ship we are on board and where he is the captain. So here we go. Enjoy. Captain Pedersen, thank you for greeting us here.
You're welcome.
How long have you been on board this time?
This time I've been on board for about 6 weeks. I will be here for total 11 weeks. That's one round trip from Far East to Europe and back again.
Okay. And then how long will you be off the ship?
I'm off also, one round trip, 11 weeks, and my very good colleague, Captain Jes Meinertz, will be here when I'm home.
Okay.
We change 1 to 1.
I see.
Back.
And you were on the first trip this ship made. She was delivered.
Captain Jes Meinertz was here the first half past, and I took the second half. So that was why I was the one for Gothenburg.
Oh, I see.
And 6-7 other ports.
I see.
Yeah.
And how was that? Please tell us about it.
It was funny and interesting and really, really good. Meeting a lot of customers, guests, media people. And, as I said earlier, it's one in a lifetime experience.
And
I'm
you
very
enjoyed
happy.
it, yeah?
I enjoyed it, yeah.
And before you came to this ship, which ship were you on then? Have you been with Maersk for a long time?
I've been in Maersk for about 21 years, since 93. And before this ship, I was captain on the E-type MAERSK class. The name was MAERSK for 5 years, and before that, another vessel for 5 years. Often it's 5, 6, 7 years on one vessel type.
Okay. So what's the difference?
First of all, the size.
The size,
and everybody is looking at this vessel. That's easy to feel also. That's funny. I like it.
Yeah, you told me that this ship has been around the world, but sort of one of the showcased ships from Maersk.
Yeah, it has been some kind of open house, not open house, but there have been many thousands of invited guests on board, and many media people, and I still have it on board. Now the vessel is 1.5 years old, and every round trip I have film teams, Discovery Channel, BBC, you name it, and Chinese television.
So what's the most common question you get?
Good question. I have so many questions, so I don't know.
Probably, what is it like to be the captain of a ship like this?
Yeah, that is right. That is the most common question. Yeah.
So I will ask you, how come you became a captain, master mariner?
I've been at sea for 30 years this year. And many years as an able seaman, and I went to school for, 3-4 years, and afterwards I've been sailing as mate, third mate, second mate, chief mate, and I have been working in MAERSK head office for total 4 years in various departments, and sailing again, captain on other types, and then, yeah.
When you were a small boy, how did you come up with the idea to become a master mariner?
It just came. I think it was because in Denmark we have many ferries. We had earlier many ferries, and often my father wanted to see the bridge, and he took me to the bridge. He was not a seaman; he was a policeman. But I've seen many bridges on many ferries in my time, and I have a sailing boat, a small one, from I was 9 to 15, I think. And then it started, I think, slowly. Then I went to sea first time when I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm. And was this your dream? A big ship like this?
No. I never think of it. I got the telephone call and then I said yes.
Okay. Yeah, but you enjoy it, I can see that.
Yes, I do, really. But I didn't expect it. I just got the call from our CEO and then, do you want this? Yes, definitely, I will. I will never say no to this because it's so interesting to build up the entire crew and the system on board. Meet a lot of people.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And you also got your own Twitter account. Tell me about that.
Yes.
Please let us know your Twitter account name first.
Oh, I think it's Captain EEE. Kaptajnee in Danish. Kaptajn. I spoke with Jonas and Wigman, who was in our company, our guru in tweeting and social media, and some other people. And he suggested this so much more people could follow the company and the vessel and the crew and me. And the first 6 months I did it a lot, and then it's not so much anymore. But I do it maybe 1 or 2 times a month. And the Captain Jes Meinertz and I, we also made a lot of blogs on the MAERSK webpage and Facebook and all this.
So what do you write about then? The ship or your...
Ship and crew and funny facts or funny things or maybe some pictures from a barbecue party showing a pig and...
Tell me about some funny facts.
Funny facts?
Yeah, that you have written about. I mean, it's...
I have written about a bird which landed on the vessel he was aboard for 3 weeks, a big one. And some typhoons we passed, and parties in some ports, you name it. Some crew members painting, describing the daily work on board.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And then you told us about the ship and how she reacts to rough sea and so on. We just had a storm here. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had 2 storms, and I was on the way from Poland to Denmark in the Baltic Sea, and we had the wind force 10 or 11. It was not bad because we followed the coast, so the waves are not so big, but the wind was very, very powerful, and the vessel was not able to make so high speed because of the wind. It's wind sensitive, this kind of vessel. But we made it on schedule. Arrival to Aarhus on time.
Also, when I came on board, I said this is the new kind of building a ship. It's like where the bridge is not at the end of the ship. Can I say that? Since I'm not a seaman, it's sort of more to the front of the ship. Mm. Does that have any impact on how she moves?
The vessel is 400 meters long, and in rough weather it is moving. Many guests tell me this vessel do not roll in rough weather. I tell them okay, but it actually rolls in rough weather, or jumps up and down, especially in the Atlantic or Bay of Biscay and the big oceans.
So compared to other vessels, is she different to be sort of handling?
The vessel is moving extremely good, maneuvering very good. Before it was built, I was not nervous, but I was having some thoughts about this big kind of vessel. Will it be difficult for me or in rough weather? But it ended out, the engineers have made such a good job, and the yards, and everything was correct with the calculations. And all pilots and officers say, wow, this vessel is really maneuvering good. With 2 engines and 2 rudders and very powerful bow thrusters. It is good. It feels good and safe.
How many crew is it on board this large ship?
Yeah, usually it's about 22 to 24. And we have an international crew. We have maybe 8 to 10 Danish people, Danish crew members. And the ordinary crew is Filipinos. And a few Indian officers. And sometimes Romanians. But it's like many other companies ashore also. It's international personnel.
As I said, when you see this large ship from ashore, when you're standing ashore and see when she arrives to Gothenburg, the Port of Gothenburg, you have to turn around to get her into the cranes and into the port side. It looks like you're blocking the entire Port of Gothenburg. But you told me that there is water enough on each side. You're reassuring me about that.
Yeah. It is narrow, but there is water enough. And some ports we arrive, it's even more narrow, but still safe. And if the captain do not feel safe, he will say, okay, I will wait to 6 hours later maybe, if it's too windy but it's very safe here. And I have powerful tugboats assisting me and very experienced pilots. So
how many tugboats does it require to get you?
Today I ordered 3 tugboats.
Okay.
But for example, on departure in nice weather, only one can do it to pull out the stern of the vessel, because there's no side thruster, only forward.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then I wanted to ask you about your children. How is it to be away for such a long time? I mean, it's 11 weeks away from your family.
Yeah. It is a special job.
Yeah.
Yeah, a special lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I'm away for a long time, and my children miss me, and I miss them, and my wife, of course. But, yeah, when I'm here, it feels okay. The first week is always, can be difficult. But when I'm home 100%. And totally a year, I'm home for 180 days. And so my wife and I, we feel very privileged about that. We have a very good life. And when I'm home, every single day, I follow the kids for the school and have the cleaning, the daily jobs. So my wife can relax a bit, because she have a job, full-time job.
But you missed Christmas this year.
Yes.
Is it every other year then? Are you?
Every second year I miss the Christmas. And every second summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably comes with the job.
It comes with the job. And especially when I have children, small children, I think the Christmas is not worse, but Christmas will be the season I want to be home every year, for sure.
Okay. And they are, how old are they?
I have a son at 7 years and a daughter at 14 years.
Okay. How would you, I mean, if you were gonna explain to some young people that this is the best job in the world, sort of to be at sea and to be working at sea, how would you describe it? What would you say to them, the young generation who doesn't really know what it is to be a master mariner?
Yeah. And I think the young generation, I can see it all my kids, they focus a lot on computers and techniques. And here they have everything. And they have the mother nature, and they can go ashore. Not every port, but it is possible. Especially one port we are staying for 3 days, and some ports we're staying for 1.5 or 2 days. And it's interesting to work with the multinational crew. And it's top, modern, high-tech. So I can recommend if the young people think like techniques and all this. This will be a good job.
So how do we become more visible? I mean, shipping is the invisible.
Many shipping companies are doing a lot to make themselves and the job at sea visible by sending film teams, making interviews, and going on social medias. That's a must nowadays, in my eyes.
Have you sort of experienced that yourself after being sort of involved in the social media and Twitter and Facebook and so on that you have? Is that your realization, I would say? That the young people get more interested and people in general get more interested?
Yeah, I can see when I see, for example, MAERSK Line tweet something or on Facebook, sometimes there are 10,000 likes and they have a lot of questions or applying for a job. It's very fun to see.
So what kind of questions do you get? I mean, do you know that?
How does it feel to be a cat?
Yeah,
And what
again.
it's like to see.
Everyone wants to know what it feels
Yes.
like to be a cat.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could only know if you have experienced it
Yes.
yourself. So now you're off with the ship to...
Tomorrow, I will depart from Gothenburg and go for Bremerhaven, Germany, Rotterdam, Tangier in Morocco, and then to the Far East.
Okay.
And that means Malaysia, China, South Korea, Singapore, back again.
Okay. So, and you do the same ports,
Yes.
more or less.
More or
Did you
less,
do that on the other ships as well? No?
Sometimes there are small adjustments in the timings, or one port is changed with another, depending on the season. Some ports are closed in the Christmas, for example.
So you get familiar with the ports on your route
Yes,
around the world?
I've been in many other ports than on the schedule.
Yeah. I would only say good luck.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us and to show us the ship.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you. By now you have listened to the talk I had with Niels Pedersen, and you have realized that I am not a seaman. I have never been at sea. I have just worked in the shipping industry for the last 25 years. Niels Pedersen is a very nice man who actually turned 50 on June the 1st this year. And he has been working for MAERSK for a very long time, as you heard. He likes his job. I hope you registered that. And you can see that he is very proud of what he does. On the voyage back to Asia from the Port of Gothenburg, Niels Vestergaard Pedersen created a world record of sailing with a record load of 18,168 TEUs from the port of Algeciras in Spain. I have put up a link where you can read more about that and how they celebrated the world record of numbers of containers on board a ship. Please visit the website shippingpodcast.com and comment on the episode. Let me know what you think about how it is to be the captain on one of the largest vessels in the world. Share it with your friends through social media, and let people know that they should download the shipping podcast from iTunes. The ultimate goal now is to have a podcast about shipping trending on iTunes. I depend on you to do that. Thank you very much for listening, and watch out for the next episode.